First off, thank you, Madam Chair Huffman, Vice Chair Hinojosa, and members of this committee for the opportunity to appear before you today and testify in support of SB 22. I want to thank everyone for being here. Both of us got to see many of you recently when Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick hosted us in his office and his reception room. I also want to say that I appreciate the Lieutenant Governor and our Senate Finance Chair Huffman for coming together and working to find a way and try and find a way to grow an industry that so many of us dream of and all of us do enjoy. Today, Monday, is it's our day off of working on a little series called Brothers. It's a family comedy that myself and Mr. Harrelson here are shooting out in Dripping Springs right now. It's a series that we both gave back 15% of our personal salaries to shoot here in Texas to keep us from having to go to Georgia. In this 10-episode series, which we are one episode into with 9 still to shoot, I want to give you a little example of the kind of money that productions can give Texas and Texans. We've already spent over $12 million on Texas goods and labor, and we are averaging over $2 million a week spend to date, with 12 weeks still scheduled to shoot. Now, most of you know me or know of me. I was born in Uvalde. I was raised in Longview. I went to college up the street at University of Texas, made my first film here. Then I went off to Hollywood for $2,000 in a U-Haul and made a career of making movies. And I still reside here with my family in Texas. Now, one of the only regrets of my 33-year career in film and television is not making more films, more of my films here in Texas, especially the ones that were about Texans or set in Texas. Now, it's my understanding that the rub against a film incentive in Texas is more philosophical than economical. You don't want to help a movie get made in Texas that throws rocks at Texas or Texans. Me neither. Somebody wants to do that, let them go shoot in some other incentivized state like Georgia, Tennessee, Louisiana, or go to Malta and do it. But not here. I'm with you. So let's talk about the opportunity that we have with this bill. That if we do it right, how and why SB 22 can be a sustainable and profitable investment for our state and for Texas residents. First off, and it's been alluded to already, but let's go over it again and hit some more points. The economic investment. Texas is an incredibly pro-business state. We've set up incentive programs that are attracting industries that provide well-paying jobs for the young men and women coming out of our public and higher education systems. And just like auto manufacturing or the finance industry or the tech industry and so many other businesses, the film industry can thrive in states who provide incentives to work there. So, how do these incentives, how are they good for our state? How do they pay the state of Texas back? How do they pay Texans back? As Adriana Cruz stated before me, every grant dollar awarded returns $4.69 to the state of Texas. That's a 469% ROI. That is money that's going to local Texas restaurants, hotels, coffee shops, dry cleaners, street rentals, home rentals, even Woody's barber. Good one. Gotcha. Threw one in there, babe. And look, as was stated before, we are not talking about only the big cities in Texas. This particular bill also gives extra incentives to shows being shot in rural areas that don't have the same advantages of the bigger cities. Secondly, let's talk about the investment in human capital. Look, if we pass this bill in Texas, we are immediately at the bargaining table for shooting more films and television and commercials in our state, immediately. Also, more Texans who left Texas and went to other incentivized states for work because there wasn't enough work here, are going to move back. Because one, they'd rather live here, and two, now they can work here. But like you, I want to get even more Texas residents hired and employed. Ideally enough where we eventually don't have to bring in out-of-state labor at all to do the jobs needed. So I'm going to propose a bigger thought here. I'm going to propose doubling down on, if we pass this bill, what we can do. How do we do that? Number one, we train our own workforce. We partner with local community colleges and tech schools across the state of Texas, and we get Texan men and women trained and certified to learn the below-the-line trade jobs needed to make films. Now, we're talking 60 to 75% of the local spend. Jobs like electricians, lighting, construction, set designers, decorators, hair, makeup, painters, special effects, transportation, accountants, bookkeepers, all damn good paying jobs. So Texas can have a resident workforce that can grow with the rate of the productions that are going to come here. A workforce that we can expand and scale right here in Texas so more Texans have more jobs. For example, Taylor Sheridan already has